Okay, so we're going to be looking at section 9.6 today, applications, distance, rate, time, interest, and average. I'm going to take you to learn, and you'll see just a few formulas, and you'll see also a few examples, and we'll do our own in Hawk. So you have some vocabulary, some linear equations and applications, some involving cost, you have some involving distance, rate, and time, and then some involving simple entries. So I'm going to walk you through. So one of the ones you're going to see, we're going to have problems involving distance, rate, and time. Down here in the second paragraph, it gives you the formula right here. Distance, D is for distance, equals the rate times time, and they show you here D equals distance, R rate. Another way to say it is the speed, how fast you're going. So rate is what we call a speed. I like to just say distance equals speed times time because we also use R rate for interest rate, and that can be kind of confusing because one rate is a speed and one rate is a percentage for interest. So I may write distance equals S times T for speed, but it's the same, okay? And so here's the equation, D equals RT, or I might write D equals ST. You have a video here that they're showing you a sample problem. Again, I will do some for you. And they're just showing you, here's the rate or the speed. You know, they're driving 65 miles per hour, 50 miles per hour, so that's why I use S for speed. Times the time, that will give you the distance. So here's one similar setup. And we'll do some. They'll be pretty complex when we get to them. Looks like another example of distance equation. And then we have here the simple interest formula. So this formula here, P times R times T in some cases, I equals PRT. Here's the whole formula right here. I equals PRT. And up here, before they give you the formula, they explain what those variables mean. So P, principal, is the amount of money invested. So pretty much how much money you start with. And then the annual interest rate. So how much interest do you get at the end of a year? And here they're using R again. And this time rate is a percentage, not a speed. So I just use R for interest and I use S for the other. And then I is the amount of money earned. So how much interest you actually earn. And then here's the relationship. T is equal to 1. So the formula is just simplified to P times R. Usually when we're dealing with 1 year, we just do I equals P, which is the principal, the amount invested, times the interest rate. When T is 1, it just simplifies the equation. So you have an example here. Again, we will do some of these together. Average. Most are familiar with it, but we'll go through it. It's a little bit different application of average that we'll be working with. To find average, you will add up all of the numbers you're given, divide by the total, and then you will be given the average. Now, in these applications, we're looking for a missing number. So you'll still do the same thing. You add up all up, divide by some number. And you won't be able to complete that calculation without working backwards, doing a little pre-algebra to solve for x. Okay, so we've kind of done that before where we solve for a variable. And you'll have to do that here to find the missing score so that the average comes out. And again, we'll do that together when I do the examples in Hawk. And then you have some reading, some graphs. Bar graph, they got some examples here. And then on the last page, I like to call it the revenue equation, but it's a cost calculation. Here in this example, you'll be given some information, and the formula that we will use here is S minus C equals P, which I guess they call it the profit equation, but your selling price minus how much it costs you to get it will tell you how much profit you're going to make. So that's what they're spelling out here. And we will use this equation to solve a few problems. Again, they'll be kind of tough, but once you've kind of seen the formulas, you at least know what you use. And then once you know what to use and you apply problem-solving techniques to each problem, you'll be able to solve them with less difficulty. Okay, so this is the end. We'll go ahead and jump into how I can do a few examples.